We read Our Town by Thornton Wilder.
Hi, I'm Hannah Lyman.
Michael Cronin.
Rachel Blake.
And Nadine Shuckrow.
We have read Our Town by Thornton Wilder. Our Town takes place in Grover's Corner. The story, which is originally a play, shows a day in the life of the residents there.
Our Town refers to Grover's Corner, a small town located in New Hampshire, just across the Massachusetts line. As an ordinary small town, it contains ordinary places, such as the post office, the train station, the school, and the church, and also ordinary people. The men head off to work while the women tend to the farm, cook, and clean. One well-known family of the town is the Webbs family. Charles Webbs, the editor and publisher of the local newspaper and an important town figure, is married to his wife, Myrtle. Together, Charles and Myrtle have 2 kids, Emily and Wally. Wally dies unexpectedly when his appendix ruptures on a Boy Scout trip. Emily marries her high school sweetheart, George Gibbs, and dies while giving birth. George Gibbs is the son of Frank Gibbs, the town doctor who genuinely cares about the well-being of the people in Grove's Corner. Frank and Julia Gibbs also have a daughter, Rebecca. George is a baseball player and popular in high school. He mourns the death of Emily Webbs in the 3rd act.
Now, Mike, what do you think of Emily and George's marriage?
I think that their marriage was real quickly thought through, and both of them were real unsure about it, so it could lead to disappointment in the future.
Hannah, why does Thornton Wilder separate the 3 acts as daily life, love and marriage, and death? Why not other options?
Daily life testifies to the artfulness and value of routine daily activity. Simple things like eating breakfast and feeding the chickens become subjects of dramatic scenes. The characters are unaware of the details of their lives and tend to accept their circumstances. The dead souls in Act 3 emphasize this theme of trance science, disapproving of the living for their ignorance and blindness. The dead view George's grief upon Emily's grave as a pitiable waste of human time.
Hannah, why do you think Thornton Wilder chose to make a play?
I think Thornton Wilder chose to write a play because the town has so much sensory detail that writing it through only text would not give it as much detail than the play.
Rachel, how did Grover's Corner affect George and Emily's marriage?
I think that Grover's Corner affected George and Emily's marriage very much. Both of them living in a small town and going to a small school together made them see each other every day and learn more and more about one another. This affected their marriage because they already knew how their lifestyle will be, and they chose each other to be in each other's lives. Nadine, when the narrator explained the town of Grover's Corner in the beginning of the book, what was the most significant part that he explained, that you think?
Well, I believe the most significant part the narrator introduced was the 2 families, the Webbs and the Gibbs. I think this because the Webbs and the Gibbs family have the most importance to the play and the story. Mike, why does Wilder pay attention to George and Emily the most?
I think he pays attention to them most throughout the story because they're the most important, to the story. Because they're the younger generation and the actions they do reflect the future of the town, I think that's why I focus on them and whatever they wanted in life, and he wanted them to be noticed more than other people.
All right, so let's talk about the characters. The stage manager was the host of the play.
I think the stage manager is the equivalent of an omniscient narrator.
The stage manager exercises control over the action of the play.
He cues other characters.
He also interrupts their scenes with his words of the scene that has taken place.
Not only that, but he also informs audience of events and objects that we can't see.
The stage manager also occasionally assumes other roles, like an old woman, a druggist, and a minister.
He also occupies a godlike position.
George Gibbs, one of the most important characters, is Dr. and Mrs. Gibbs' son.
I think he's a decent and an upstanding young man.
He is a high school baseball star.
He plans to attend the state agricultural school.
The main part of the story is he marries Emily Webb.
Wait.
Don't forget about Emily Webb. Emily Webb is the second most important character. She is Mr. and Mrs. Webb's daughter.
Not only is she the Webb's daughter, but she's also Wally's older sister.
Emily is also George's schoolmate and neighbor.
She is a very excellent student in school, and she, unfortunately, dies during childbirth.
She joins their group of dead souls in local cemetery and tries to return to the living world.
I'm Rachel, and I enjoyed this play/story very much, and I thought that the story had a very good meaning, and the marriage of Emily and George gave the play/story a big importance.
I, Nadine, was not a big fan of this book because I didn't like the way that it was set up and how it was a play. I don't understand it that much, and I didn't have a good time reading it.
I, Hannah, didn't mind the book, but I wouldn't read it again, and it's definitely not one of my favorites.
Thank
you for listening to our book discussion on our town by Thornton Wilder.